Hi, everyone. We're going to play a game today. I thought this would be a really fun way to talk about famous works of literature that inspired Broadway musicals. If you are a homeschooler looking for ways to easily and affordably include a quality music education in your homeschool, you've come to the right place. This is the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. I'm Gina Mayo, homeschooling mom of 8 and music teacher for over 30 years. So here's how the game is going to work. I have 21 different musicals, and I'm going to give you a few clues about each one. Each of these musicals is based on a book or a play or a set of poems, and they have been turned into a Broadway musical. I will give you a few clues and give you a couple seconds to see if you can guess which one it is, and then I'll tell you the answer. So this first one, it's based on a set of poems published in 1939. The musical is one of Broadway's longest running shows. It was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it's based on a pet. Did you get it? One of the songs is Memory. Okay, that one was Cats. Good job. Next, we have a musical that was based on a book written in 1862. It was originally written in French. The musical was first on Broadway in 1987. And a couple of songs from it are I Dreamed a Dream, One Day More, and Do You Hear the People Sing? Did you get Les Miserables? And the author of that book was Victor Hugo. I don't think I said the author of Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats was T.S. Eliot. All right, here's the next one. This musical was based on a book written by Ian Fleming in 1964. One of the main characters is a car. It was first on Broadway in 2005. And one of the popular songs is Hushabye Mountain. And the other popular song is the name of the musical, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Next, we have a musical based on a book that was written in 1934. A woman author wrote this, and she wrote several books in a series. Some of the popular songs are Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I bet you got it now. Chim Chim Cheree and A Spoonful of Sugar. That is Mary Poppins, written by P.L. Travers. This next book was written in 1886 by Robert Louis Stevenson. It's a dark story. Talks about the duality of human nature. It was first on Broadway in 1997, and a couple of the popular songs are This Is the Moment and Someone Like You. And that book is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and the musical is Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, what about this one? This one is a children's book written in 1911 by Frances Hodgson Burnett. It tells the story of Mary Lennox, who moves from India to Yorkshire. A couple of the popular songs are Lily's Eyes and The Girl I Mean to Be. It was on Broadway in 1991. And the musical and the book are The Secret Garden. This next musical was based on a play from 1913. The play was written by George Bernard Shaw. The play and the musical do not have the same name. One of the main characters is Eliza Doolittle. A couple of popular songs are I Could Have Danced All Night, The Rain in Spain, and On the Street Where You Live. It first went to Broadway in 1956, and that is My Fair Lady, and the play was Pygmalion. All right, here is another one where the book was originally written in French in 1909. This musical was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's the longest running musical on Broadway ever. Started in 1988 and ran all the way to 2023. The author is Gaston Leroux, and the musical is The Phantom of the Opera. Our next one is also based on a play. This play was written way back in 1597 by Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. The musical was written by Leonard Bernstein and first went to Broadway in 1957. Some of the popular songs with the lyrics by Stephen Sondheim are Tonight, America, and Somewhere. And that musical is West Side Story. How are you doing? You getting these? Next, two musicals are both from the same book. It's the most popular best-selling book of all time. They were both written by the same people, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice. One of them is based on a character from the Old, and the other one is based on a character from the New. Hopefully that gives you another hint. Okay, so the book is the Bible, the Old Testament, and the New Testament. Do you know which those musicals are? The Old Testament one is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. First went to Broadway in 1982. And the second one is Jesus Christ Superstar, which first went to Broadway in 1971. The next musical is based on a book written in 1995 by Gregory Maguire. This musical was written by Stephen Schwartz. It has a movie coming out this fall, if you're listening to this in the summer of 2024. And some of the popular songs are Defying Gravity and Popular. The musical is Wicked. It's been on Broadway since 2003. The next one is based on a book by Charles Dickens, published in 1838. It first went to Broadway in 1963. A couple of popular songs from it are Consider Yourself, Food, Glorious Food, and As Long as He Needs Me. And the book was Oliver Twist, and the musical is Oliver. The next musical was based on a book published in 1944. Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote this musical. It first went to Broadway in 1951. It's set in a country in the Far East, modern-day Thailand, which was called Siam back then. The book was Anna and the King of Siam, and the musical is The King and I. Our next book and musical have the same name. The book was published in 1988. The musical first went to Broadway in 2013. A couple of the popular songs are When I Grow Up and Revolting Children. That musical is Matilda. The next one is based on a book published in 1884 by Mark Twain. This musical first went to Broadway in 1985 and has songs like Muddy Water and River in the Rain. And it is the musical Big River, based on The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Next, we have a musical where the book has the exact same name, published in 1975 by E.L. Doctorow. The musical was written by Stephen Flaherty and Ahrens, and it first went to Broadway in 1998, and that is the musical Ragtime. Next, we have another musical based on a play written in 1599. This one again was William Shakespeare. The play was Hamlet. I'm telling you that because it's a little bit of a stretch for this story, but you might get it. This is the highest grossing Broadway musical of all time. Hasn't played the longest yet, but it has made the most money. And a couple of the most popular songs in it by Elton John and Tim Rice include The Circle of Life. That is The Lion King. Next, we have a book that was published in 1900. It first went to Broadway in 1903. I think that's amazing how fast that happened. And a couple of the most popular songs include If I Only Had a Brain and Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The author is L. Frank Baum, and you probably got that one, The Wizard of Oz. We are almost done. We have 3 more. And these last 3, here's your big hint, all became Disney movies. This first one was published by Hans Christian Andersen, and the music is by Alan Menken. Part of Your World, Under the Sea are a couple of the most popular songs, and it first went to Broadway in 2008, The Little Mermaid. Next, we have a story that came from France. The original fairy tale was written and published in 1740, but the more well-known adaptation, for which the Disney film and then the musical were based, was published in 1756. This one has popular songs such as Be Our Guest and the title of the musical, but also the song Beauty and the Beast. Our last one is another musical that is still playing on Broadway. It's been there since 2014. It was based on a very old story. We don't even know how old it was, but this story was first published in 1709. Came from a book called 1001 Nights. It's a Middle Eastern story. Have you gotten that one yet? Popular songs include A Whole New World and Friend Like Me, and that one was Aladdin. I hope you've had fun playing this game with us today. I think we'll do a few more of these for different topics. If you have an idea, go ahead and go to the show notes or description, and there's a place that you could click to send me a message or leave a comment, and I would love to do some more fun quizzes with you. Until next time, keep the music alive.